everybody? How was everybody today? Please smash that like button on your way in. We will be bringing you live from the courtroom. Lori Vallow is going to be in court today. Now, there's been a lot of filings, you guys, in this case. Hello, Nana. Good morning, hon. There's been a lot of filings. Lori Vallow still does not want to waive her right to a speedy trial. And as we know, the trial date for Chad has already been set for January 9th. Lori Vallow has been set for to start in October, October 11th. So this poses a dilemma for the prosecution because they want the trials joined, but Lori is entitled to her speedy trial, and she's not willing to waive that. So this is going to be a fight. The prosecution wants to extend the date for Lori's trial to start till January. That would impede her right to a speedy trial, which could initially get her walking from these charges. Good morning, Kat. Hello. So they're walking a thin line here. If they do, if the judge does disregard Lori's right to a speedy trial and says, no, you're going to have it in January, so it can be one trial joined as it is right now, that's a huge reason for appeal, because her right to a speedy trial would be denied, and she could possibly walk from these charges. So this is what the battle is today. I'm going to tell you that in some of the new filings, hello, Vera Ray, good morning. Lori Vallow's attorney responds to the state's motion to continue the trial date from October 11th to January 9th, 2023. So, but Lori Vallow has told her counsel not to file for a separate trial. But in essence, if you are pushing for your right for a speedy trial, that is going to separate the trials, because they have to have her in trial before October 11th to give her her speedy right. Hello, Tabitha. And court will be starting in about 10 minutes, you guys, but I just want to get on here and give you a little bit of backstory of what's been going on and what is being filed. Okay, so she has a full defense team of 2 lawyers, a mitigation and specialist, and an investigator. Her defense has also let the court know that right now Lori's mental health is complex and very fragile, that at any time she could be incompetent yet again. They said that there is a very real potential for her to be hospitalized again in the very near future. And the Department of Health has put in a report that they don't think that she is malingering or making up mental illness. A neuropsychologist approved by the defense team will meet with Lori, should have already met with Lori actually the beginning of this week to further assess her mental health and do a little bit more testing. But Lori is still not waiving her right to a speedy trial, but understands moving a trial date would give her defense team a little bit more time. Now, the defense team knows that this has been coming for a long time, so they've behind the scenes been able to kind of prepare, not knowing when she was going to be brought to competency. No, she's Nana, she's not stalling. She is not waiving her right to a speedy trial. She wants her trial date in October. It's the prosecution that is trying to stall this to January so they can try them both together. And Lori said, even though she doesn't want to file for a separate trial, she wants her right to a speedy trial, which they have to do. That's law. Unless she waives her right to that speedy trial, they have to get her to trial within 6 months of her arraignment, which is October 11th. I've got a slew of emails from Vine. Her trial date has been set to start October 11th. And the prosecution is the one that is fighting this and has filed all kinds of paperwork saying that they want them joined. They want Lori's trial postponed until January. And the thing with doing that, you guys, if they postpone her trial to January, that is an automatic appeal where she could walk. And the prosecution, if they get this and the judge gives this, then it's very possible on her appeal, she is going to walk. So they've got to be very careful, okay? She has that right to a speedy trial. I feel bad for the prosecutors having to try this case twice, because they would have to try it once for Lori and then once again for Chad separately. And it's going to cost them a phenomenal amount of money. But the defendant has rights. And if you breach those rights, your defendant can walk. And one of the huge rights that a defendant has is to a speedy trial. So if they move her trial to January and she says, no, I told you, and what she has said in her filings is she is not waiving her right. She is still refusing to waive her right to a speedy trial. She wants her trial to go ahead in October. So with her being steadfast on that, if the judge turns around and sides with the prosecution and moves her trial to January so they can be tried together, she is going to appeal that, and then she's going to walk. She will walk. I'm telling you guys, please trust me on that. So that's the dilemma. It is the prosecution who has filed a bunch of motions. The defense team has responded to that. And the defense lawyers themselves have no qualms moving it to January because it gives them more time. But Letitia is still saying, no, you work for me. I have a right to a speedy trial, and I want my speedy trial in October. So unless they have got her to change her mind, then this trial is going ahead for her alone in October. I don't think John Pryor is going to agree to have Chad's moved up to October, but you never know. We don't know. So we're going to find out a lot today. We're going to be able to see it right from the courthouse. I am allowed to stream this today. So before anybody jumps all over me, I am allowed to stream this one today. Chad's hearing that is coming up on the 8th of June. I thought that we were going to be able to stream too, but we're not going to be able to stream that because they're going to be talking a lot about information and filings that are already under seal. We'll get some information about what happened there and what it was about after the fact, but we won't be able to watch the hearing, like I said, because there's going to be a lot of discussion about stuff that's under seal. Good morning, Be Kind. Tabitha, good morning. Teresa, good morning. Yeah, why would the because they are concerned about the cost to them of having two trials. They want them both joined. They don't want to have to do two individual trials. They want them joined, and they want them to continue to be joined, but they can't force Letitia to give up her rights. So yeah, they're saying, Your Honor, you know, it's going to cost us double the money. Well, you brought these charges, and I'm not pro Lori or pro Chad at all, but the prosecution knows if you're going to bring charges against somebody, it's going to cost you money. So don't cry foul because somebody wants their rights. Everybody is entitled to the right to a speedy trial, whether you're a murderer or you just stole something from the candy store. You have rights as a citizen of the United States. Good morning, Karen, Jeanette. Good morning, everybody. So as much as I would like to see them both tried together, they have their rights. It can't be denied, because then that would say it's okay for them to deny you your rights too, and that's just not right. So with that being said, we're going to see what happens here. We're going to see it live in court. Hello, History Underfoot. That's what we're talking about, Lori, right now. Also, I think that if they try and force her to change her court date, she may all of a sudden become incompetent again. She's fragile right now. This is what her attorneys have said. Her mental health is really fragile right now. And if you push her and you start taking rights away from her, you're posing a threat of her becoming incompetent again. Not only that, it's the best reason for appeal she could ever have, and she would walk. On appeal, she would walk if they do this. So let's see what's going to happen today. Where it's going to start at noon. We know they always run a little bit late. I am watching on my other monitor here for it to start, and you will be able to see it live, hear it live as it's happening. It comes of years and years and years working in the legal field, Vera. Although I'm in Canada, our laws are a lot the same, but there are laws that are a lot different also. But they're generally, the foundation of them are so much alike that it's a little easier for me to be able to comment. Crime Bee says, would Lori's trial going first mean information could be leaked and damage Chad's trial, depending on how they're going to approach it? It's going to be the same information used for both trials. Now, what could hurt Chad is Lori going first and pointing the finger at Chad. And that's what I think is going to happen. Or they're going to both point the finger at her brother, Alex. She may do that, or she may point it at Chad alone, Alex alone, or Chad and Alex. So it's going to be interesting, you guys, but I don't think, as I've seen right now from all the filings, she's still not willing to waive her right to a speedy trial. I think, if you want what I think, I think Lori would, everybody's saying she's going to point it at Chad. I think she'll throw some digs there towards Chad, but she's still very much in love with him. I think she's going to blame her brother. I think Chad is going to blame Lori and her brother. He's coming for Lori. If you guys look back, way back to when this first happened, the read that I did, who's going to turn on each other? He's going to turn on Lori. I don't think Lori may throw some digs there, but Lori is still very much in love with him. I think that Lori is going to blame her brother and throw some digs Chad's way. But I think full-heartedly Chad is turning on Lori. So let me just check here to make sure it hasn't started yet. And as it starts, you guys, I will be bringing it to you as soon as it starts, as soon as the judge and everybody comes into the Zoom. I will bring it here for you. So if I do go quiet for a second, you guys, I'm checking to see if it started yet. Okay, so while we're waiting, I don't know if this is a video. Do they show any pictures? They show one picture. I can show you guys. It doesn't look... Okay, and I got this from Mix. Uh, 107 or Mix 106. Oh, I can't. Hang on a sec, see if I can bring this up. Okay, let me see if I can bring this up and show you a picture of the jail that she's in. So there's the picture. There's the picture of the jail that she's in. So this probably would be a common area or something. I don't know. I thought there was going to be more pictures on here, but there's not. But apparently that is the prison she should be in. Sorry for the cough, you guys. I'm just waiting for this to come on. And as soon as it comes up on the Zoom, I will bring it to you. Hello, everybody coming in. Butterfly, Dana, History Underfoot, Karen. I don't know if I've said your names already, but if not, I'm saying them again. Yeah, there's just so many loopholes, and there's you think you got something figured out, and you read up on case law or something like that, and boom, there's something else. Like it's not as easy as people think. So we are waiting. It should be starting any minute. Let me just check and make sure here. We know they always run a minute or two late, so. I'm checking. Checking. Okay, let me just check here. Is Lori a possible serial killer? I don't know. It seems to be there's a lot of dead people in her wake. A lot of dead people related to her, around her. So we are waiting. I see that there's a lot of other channels that are waiting too for this to start. So it hasn't started yet, you guys. Yeah, everybody's still waiting. Everybody is still waiting. Okay, it's starting, you guys. Oh, where the hell? Hang on. Okay, why? Wait a minute. Why? Hang on a second, you guys. Oh, it hasn't started yet. They've just pulled it up. Okay. Everybody's waiting for it to start, so. As soon as it starts, we will be bringing it to you. Sorry about that, you guys. I was just making sure that it hadn't started yet, so. I seen somebody say that it had started, but it hasn't. And I've checked around on a few other people that let me know that this was going to be live, and it hasn't started for them yet either, so. Okay. Yeah, I think she would qualify as a serial killer too. We're just waiting for the judge, you guys. I'm looking at other people that are waiting too. So everybody's still waiting for it to be put up, for it to start. I think she died at Butterfly Dana. I think from what I hear that there was, she was able to get hair dye in that when she was in the psychiatric hospital. Oh, absolutely. They're going to both blame Alex, but I think Chad is really going to turn on Lori too. I think he's going to put the blame on Lori and Alex, Lori's brother Alex. Yeah, dead man can't talk. Okay, let me just check and see if it's going yet, you guys. I'm not started yet. Everybody is waiting. Everybody's going nuts. Where is it? Where is it? But we know they always start late. They're probably arguing about stuff and whatever. So I can show you here that it does say that it will be available. This hearing can be available, which can be found, and it gives the address. It could be found at Colorado or Idaho, COI, and it's blurry, but Idaho government. It's in the policy of the Supreme Court that the court proceedings are presumed to be open to the public in the absence of court rule providing a court order otherwise. Thus, this proceeding may be live streamed to the public. So we're just waiting for it to start. Yeah, she's also going to be, I forget where it is now. You guys, I got so much on my brain right now. But I know she's also facing murder charges for Charles Vallow in another state. So she's gonna, I don't know if she's been arraigned on those charges yet, or are they waiting for the outcome of this to proceed with that? Like if she gets the death penalty, there's no sense of them wasting all their money, right? But I think it's, you know, I don't know. Arizona. Thank you, Teresa. I believe that's it in Arizona for Charles Vallow's death. We know that Charles was killed in Lori's home by her brother Alex, who shot him, and his death has been ruled a homicide. Yeah, I think Arizona is waiting to see the outcome of this trial first. Like I said, if she gets the death penalty here, they are seeking the death penalty. If she is sentenced to death, then, you know, there's no sense of them going on. But I feel like it should be on record that she is responsible for his death. And we are still waiting, you guys. I see everybody refreshing the pages to... I'm letting, so instead of me having to refresh it, I'm watching one of a friend that's also streaming it. I'm watching her. So as soon as I see it come up on her page, I can go and to my other tabs and open it up for you guys to see. Butterfly Dana says, I think there is going to be more incompetence coming up, either in hearing or trial for Lori, and things are going to be stopped and restarted. I think if she doesn't get exactly what she wants, the prosecution's got to be very careful dealing with her. Her attorneys have said she's already in a very fragile state. So at any time, she can become incompetent again if you push her too far. The medical doctors and everything have stated that they do not think that she was malingering. They do think that she had some issues. So at any time, if they push her too hard, she could become incompetent again. And do they want that? Right? It would be a split trial, because if she becomes incompetent again, she ends up back in the mental hospital and she's not going to be available for trial for January. So either way, like I think they're going to have to suck this up, and they're going to have to do 2 trials. I think if they push for this, for them to be joined and to move Lori's to January, not only are they going against her right to a speedy trial, which she refused to give up, they also put the stress and pressure on her that she could become incompetent again. So they're walking a very, very thin line. They got to be very careful. And I think them trying to force Lori to go to push her trial to January when she said, no, I'm not waiving my right to a speedy trial. I think that okay, let me just go over here, you guys, for a minute. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, you guys. I'm looking up something here. It's not saying that it's been vacated, so I'll just get down to the bottom here. It's not saying. They're still not bringing it up, so let me see if I can't. It's still not showing. It still has not started yet, you guys. And that's what I just went to check to make sure that it hasn't been vacated. Okay, let me see over here if they've got it going yet. Yeah, there's even one of the news channels, you guys, still waiting. So I don't know what is the holdup here. They're waiting and they keep refreshing. I'm watching their page now too, because the news is they're the ones that are going to be the ones to watch. But if it starts up on their page, then I'll go back to the link to be able to watch it. So I just don't have to keep clicking back and forth checking. I wanted to get a reliable source up that when they start, I know it started, so I don't have to keep checking. Okay, so let me go through some of the chat here while we're waiting. This one here, History Underfoot, has nothing to do. This isn't Lori. This is the state's motion. The motion today is they want Lori's case moved to January. And Lori is saying, no, I'm not going to file for a separate trial, but I'm also not going to waive my right to a speedy trial. So in other words, she wants the state, if they want a joint trial, she wants it in October. And she has every right to that speedy trial. So I think at this point, she just wants to get it over and done with. Yeah, that's what I say too. Like, if you're going to bring the charges against somebody, be prepared. Would it be ideal if you guys can try it all at once, because you're going to be using the same witnesses, same information and everything else, and it's going to be one cost instead of two? Absolutely. But you guys chose to charge them both. They both have rights to a speedy trial. Chad waived his, Lori has not. They both have those rights. So suck it up, prosecution, and try them separate. You don't want to give her any reason to file an appeal and walk. And taking away her right to a speedy trial when she hasn't waived it is an automatic walk if she appeals it. Oh, absolutely. I think Chad would have been her next victim. Oh, you know, I never thought of that, and I agree. Um, I think Alex was her killing machine. I agree. Anybody associated with Lori was a potential future victim. I don't know. I'm not so sure that Chad was safe. Yeah, Charles was a very handsome man. Um, just my opinion, I think that Chad looks kind of dopey, like doo doo doo. I'm just saying, if you're comparing her and Chad and Charles, Charles was pretty well off too. Charles wasn't broke, that's for sure. And actually, Charles probably had more money than Chad. So when she first started hooking up with Chad, Charles probably had more money. Um, I do believe that he had increased Tammy's insurance policy when him and Lori finally got hooking up for behind the scenes there. I'm not sure on that, but I think that's what I remember. Yeah, and if you watch that documentary on them, we're just discussing this as we're waiting for the judge to start here. I'm watching one of the news channels that's also covering this, and they don't have it up yet either, so they're still waiting. So I think that there's been a delay somewhere. Could be with Lori, who knows? Maybe she became incompetent again. Um, if you watch the documentary on Lifetime that came out, I'm behind in chat, you guys, so please forgive me. If you watch that came out, Lori left Charles and she was moving to be with Chad, and Chad had promised her that Tammy would be gone by the time she got there. And when she got there, Tammy was still not gone. And then Tammy got gone. Well, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you see the way he just stoically sits there and just stare. It looks like he's staring at the wall, like he's all doop doo doop doo, right foot, left foot, doop doo. I don't know. It's just that's who he reminds me of. There's a cartoon character. Yeah, I do. I think, and Charles did try and warn people. Look at, she's losing her marbles. She thinks all of this stuff. Like she's losing her head. She's gonna try and kill me. What happened? Yeah, and a gravedigger. Like he was a gravedigger. Ugh. Okay, he wrote some books. Like, but I mean, based on stuff that was 144 are only going to be saved. Like it was just far out there. Yeah, even personality wise, like Charles was a doll. Elmer Fudd, that's him. Yep, you do. I get that rabbit. I'll get that rabbit. Oh God, I'm sorry. No, silly rabbit. I'm hunting rabbits. Chad looks maybe Chad looks better in the portal. We don't know again. We're waiting for this to start. I was watching some other people that I know are streaming it too, and they haven't got it up yet either. So then I brought up one of the news channels because they're one of the ones that will have the first stream of it, and they haven't got it either. So I'm not going to keep refreshing my stream. I can just watch this channel, and then when it starts, I'll refresh my stream so I can bring it up full screen for you guys without using somebody else's content. I'm just watching it so I can see when it starts so I don't have to keep checking myself. And they have been live too for almost half an hour waiting for this to start. And this is the news channel. one of the news channels, I guess, in the area. I agree, Nana. Oh, here we go, you guys. It's starting. Okay.
Let me first make sure that the court reporter is there.
Please press 1 if you guys can hear it.
This is case CR 22-211624.
Yes, Judge, I am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lori Norino asked the clerk time set on a motion hearing if this is being now recorded on the FTR system, some scheduling business prior to starting this motion. Let me first,
Hang on,
is
you
that a
guys.
yes from the clerk? Okay, I'm going to wait until we get a response there. I'm not able to hear from the clerk of the court. If you could just acknowledge that you're there and the FTR is functioning, please.
She's got blondish kind of hair. Curly. She uses toilet paper rolls to curl her hair.
Okay. We didn't get an audible, but I did just get a message pop up from the clerk. FTR is functioning. So making sure the record's all being picked up here. This matter is also being live streamed on the court's YouTube channel for public access to this hearing as it's being held remotely. Representing the defendant today, Mr. Archibald and Mr. Thomas. The defendant is here present also, appearing from the Madison County Jail. The state will be represented for purposes of argument at this hearing today by Ms. Rawlings, who I believe is arguing the motion. Is that correct, Ms. Rawlings?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, and I believe Mr. Archibald, you'll be arguing in response. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In this case, then, there's been a motion that was filed on May 2nd, and it's titled "A Motion to Find Good Cause to Continue Trial and Prevent Improper Severance." It relates to the issue of the trial settings of this case and the co-defendant Chad Guy Daybell, which is case CR 22-2116-23. In the Daybell case, that matter is set to start jury trial on January 9th, 2023. This case was scheduled to commence trial on October 11th, 2022, after an arraignment that took place on April 19th, wherein the defendant declined to waive her right to speedy trial under Idaho's speedy trial statute, which requires a setting within 6 months of a trial. So the state's now filed its motion seeking a continuance of the trial date to coincide with the other case in January. And if you want to start and present your argument at this time, Ms. Rawlings, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state will largely rely on the motion that has been filed with this court, but we do have a brief argument to make. The court can find good cause to continue Lori Vallow Daybell's trial. As the defense team recognizes in their response, there is a voluminous amount, or I think a mountain of evidence to review in this case. Mitigation experts require significant time to review evidence and prepare argument, and a period of time beyond the 6-month statutory limit lessens the burden on defense counsel to be ready and decreases potential issues on appeal. We feel this alone rises to a legal excuse under State versus Clark, justifying a brief continuance, particularly in a case of this complexity with conspiracy charges and a joint co-defendant. The court has found these cases are properly joined and denied Chad Daybell's request to sever. If there is not a continuance of this current October trial setting, as the court noted, Mr. Daybell's trial is still set in January, and so an improper severance could occur. The interests of judicial economy, procedural efficiency, and ensuring consistent verdicts justify a brief delay to the January trial date. The co-defendant, Chad Daybell, has waived speedy trial and indicated that his defense would be ready to proceed on the January trial date, but would object to an earlier trial date in October, although Mr. Daybell has not filed any pleadings to that effect. It's just been representations made to the court. The alternatives before the court are to find good cause to continue Lori Vallow Daybell's trial for a brief period, or force the state and co-defendant Chad Daybell to proceed to trial when both have already planned for a January date. We feel it is more equitable to grant the state's request for a brief continuance of Ms. Vallow Daybell's court date, given the complex nature of the case, and to maintain the original January trial date rather than force the state and Chad Daybell to prepare earlier than anticipated. The setting of the trial date in January, given the court's change of venue to a busy district and 2 of the 3 parties' needs, we feel is good cause and is an alternative available to the court that allows it to avoid an improper severance. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I do have one brief question for you, Ms. Rawlings. There's a couple of different protections under speedy right. One is under Idaho statute 193501, and there is also, I think, separate and individual constitutional protections in speedy trial rights. In your argument, do you indicate that the balancing that the court would use as cited in those cases applies to the statute or the constitutional protection, or both?
I think it probably applies to both based on the Supreme Court's adoption of the Barker v. Wingo standard under State v. Clark. However, I think that for constitutional purposes, there is a time frame that's different. I think that was noted in my motion in terms of what constitutes a constitutional delay or a brief delay in speedy trial. And so I know the court is probably aware that there is case law in Idaho differentiating a defendant's statutory right versus a constitutional violation. That's been heard recently under State v. Clark and some other cases that have basically held that there's a different standard for determining whether a constitutional violation has occurred. And so that's why it was included in the state's motion, is just noting that although Idaho does have this statutory time period, there is a difference that the court can look at in terms of when constitutional violations occur.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that response. Mr. Archibald, your response.
Your Honor, I'll rely upon the response that I filed. Just note that we talked to Mrs. Daybell frequently, and as recently as yesterday, she acknowledges that she still has her right to a speedy trial, and she is not going to waive that right. And so we'll be respectful of the court's decision, whether it's an October trial setting or not. The Mrs. Daybell still wants to exercise that right. She understands we're working hard to get caught up. We're spending a lot of time, and her defense team is spending a lot of time getting caught up, since the state's been involved in this case for over 2 years, and she's been in jail for over 2 years, but her defense team is not. And so, but we're doing all we can.
Okay, I appreciate your response. On that point, Mr. Archibald, you've been appointed for some time, and Mr. Thomas, his appointment's been pretty recent, correct? He was just appointed.
Yes. Yes, according to that new criminal rule 44.3, the defendant's not entitled to her full defense team, including co-counsel, until the time of her arraignment. And she wasn't arraigned until a month ago. So that's when the defense team was fully funded.
Okay, I appreciate that. Ms. Rawlings, any rebuttal argument at this time?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think the defense response was appropriate given everything, given the defendant's expressed wishes But as noted in the state's motion, this is kind of a unique position to be in this early in the case to be asking for this. But we feel that where there are a number of outstanding issues that still need to be determined, including DNA testing of certain evidence that was put off until the cases were brought together again. And because these were properly joined and the court has noted that this is to be one case for trial, we think that it is just more equitable to continue it to the January date.
All right. I'll consider the argument under advisement at this time then and fully submitted. I will review the state's brief again in the response. Because this issue involves important constitutional and statutory rights, I don't want to attempt to make an oral ruling on the motion today because I want to make sure I apply the proper standard of review and properly balance all of the factors I'm required to under the existing case law to make sure I reach the best decision I can on this. So I will be issuing a written decision, and I believe it won't be a big delay until that comes out. So I will take it under advisement and will advise the parties of the court's ruling on this motion through a written memorandum decision and order. So,
Your Honor?
Yes.
Just briefly, Mr. Pryor is in this hearing. I know that we've had discussions at attorney meetings regarding his position. I don't know if the court wants to make a record of that for purposes of this issue as well.
All right. The motion really does pertain exclusively to the trial setting of the 1624 case that's being heard today. But Mr. Pryor, where these matters have been joined for trial, I do believe it has some effect on you as well. So is there any position you have on the issue at this point?
Judge, my preference is that the court maintains the trial for Mr. Daybell in January as set.
Okay. Thank you for your comment on that issue as well. And then with that in mind, that will conclude the hearing on that motion. So at this time then, we're going to take a brief recess. There's a second motion we're going to call up this morning. That is a matter that was filed under seal and will be a closed hearing. So that will conclude the broadcast of these proceedings on the court's live stream channel. So let's take about a 5-minute break and then we'll call our second motion.
So there we have it, you guys. You can see Lori right here. I was watching her facial expressions. Let's stop sharing that now. I was watching her facial expressions and what the judge has to take, and I do believe that he should have done what he did and just take it under advisement. He's going to have to look into this because if they force Lori to go ahead to January, they are violating her rights. And by violating her right to a speedy trial, let me just get this up here. If they violate her rights to a speedy trial, then that gives her reason for appeal, and she could walk. She would walk. I believe she absolutely would walk. So thank you everybody for being here. Let me just, so I can see all your guys' chats. There we go. All right. Hey, there's my sister. They are still joined as it is right now, they are still joined. What this was the prosecution wanted to take away Lori's right to her speedy trial and move her trial from October to January. And she's not willing to give up her right to a speedy trial. And John Pryor just announced that Chad Daybell is not willing to move his trial from January to October. He wants his January trial, which has already been set. So neither side is budging. I think Lori's defense team, I can take these earbuds out now. Lori's defense team actually has said that they wouldn't mind the extra time. And the prosecution wants it moved because of financial. They would have to present all the evidence at 2 separate trials. They're going to be using the same evidence for each trial. But this way, instead of only having to present it once and calling all the witnesses in once and paying for all the security and everything that you heard them talk about, they're going to have to pay that twice. So and to me, you guys, and like I said, I am not on the side of Lori or Chad, but you guys brought these charges. You guys should have all your ducks in a row. We've seen this with the Barry Morphew case. The prosecution just said, we're still waiting for DNA to come back. Well, you should have already had that done. Like, it's not Lori Vallow's fault that you don't have that done. You brought the charges against her. You know she has a right to a speedy trial. You better have all your ducks in a row and be ready to go. So if they decide that, if the judge decides that he's going to move Lori's to join with Chad's, that's a reason for Lori to appeal, and on the basis that she was denied her right to a speedy trial. And she would walk. I guarantee you she would walk at the appeal. They're going to have to suck it up, and they're going to have 2 trials. That's the only way at this point. We just heard both from Lori's side. She's not willing to waive her right to a speedy trial. We heard from John Pryor that Chad is not willing to change his trial date from January to October. He wants his January trial date that's already been set. End of story. So if the judge, Teresa, I'm telling you, please, right now, this is in my honest opinion, as I see it from working in this field for many years. If you take somebody's constitutional right away from them when they have consistently said, I am not waiving my right to a speedy trial, and if they take that away from her and move her trial to January, that is a reason for her to appeal, and she will walk. She was denied her rights. So they're going to have to do 2 trials here. That's the only way I can see this having any chance of convicting the both of them. And I'm telling you, if they move this, she is going to appeal it, and she's going to appeal it because her constitutional rights were denied, and that's it. Like, she's probably told her lawyers, look, I hired you. If you can't do it, I'll get somebody else. I want my trial in October. She has made that clear. I watched her face, and when they said anything about moving her trial to January, she rolled her eyes. She looked to the left. She, like, the mouth changed. I watch her facial. She is not going to allow that. And she will appeal. And if she appeals it, she will walk on appeal. Is the prosecution willing and ready for that to happen? Just so they can save themselves some money by having it together. I think that he will have it probably, what day are we today? We are Thursday. Or Thursday. He probably won't have it till Monday or Tuesday. I don't think it's going to take him very long. I don't think, if we were Monday, he would have had it by the end of the week. But we're Thursday, so I don't believe that decision will come. I'm going to be watching the court forms, you guys, the court docket. I will let you guys know ASAP. I will put it on my community tab, so please keep an eye on my community tab too. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. You're made aware of everything. I do reads as well as covering the cases that I have read right through the court process. Some people like that, some people don't, but I like to follow a case right from my read right through to the end if I can. So that's why I bring you guys both. You get the best of both worlds here. I don't put out anything that is not true. I try and verify everything. Sometimes things slip through the cracks, but when they do, I am the first to jump on and apologize and make it right. Do my best to make it right. Yeah, the state right now is, yeah, we can't let another one walk. The state brought these charges. You got to have your crap together and be ready to go. They have a right to a speedy trial. Don't arrest them until you have your shit together. You know, once you arrest them and they're arraigned, you got a 6-month time frame to get them to court. So make sure you got all your ducks in a row. We've seen what happened with the Barry Morphew case when you don't have your ducks in a row. Yes, if the judge decides that he's going to join them and take away Lori's right to a speedy trial and join her with Chad in January, she can appeal it and she will walk. She has that right, like any one of you have. As a U.S. citizen, you have that right to a speedy trial. Chad waived his right to a speedy trial. I was going to say Letitia. Lori has been adamant since her arraignment. I am not waiving my right to a speedy trial. Now, if the prosecution doesn't have their DNA evidence and everything in a row, that's not Lori's problem. That's not a defense problem. That's a prosecution problem. You have a right to a speedy trial. And you got to put yourself in the position with, what if I was charged? Like if any of us were arrested and charged and we were innocent, that's why you have that right to a speedy trial. So you're not sitting in jail longer than what you are. What if you're found not guilty? You've spent all this time. That's why people file civil suits and win hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions, wrongfully convicted. So you have a right to a speedy trial. The only one that can waive that is the defendant. Yeah, they need to get their crap together. They've had 2 years to get all this DNA testing and everything done. What have you guys been doing? You got to be fair here. What has the prosecution been doing in the last 2 years that you haven't been able to get your DNA evidence together? Come on. You knew as soon as she was found competent, you had 6 months to get her to trial. And I think they were banking on her not becoming competent for some time. So now that she is, you guys still are under the same obligation if she does not waive her right to a speedy trial and she refuses. You can't force her to take a further out date. You're violating her constitutional rights. Hi, Corey H. Oh my gosh, I'm wishing a speedy recovery for you, my dear. Nana. She can always appeal. It's a death penalty case. They're always appealed anyway, but that's different. Okay, that's different. If they have her trial in October and it's a death penalty case, it's always appealed. But if they force that case and force to go outside of her speedy trial, anything else doesn't matter at that point. They took away her constitutional right. She will walk on appeal just on the fact that she was not given the speedy trial that she requested and that she did not waive. Nothing else is going to matter. Exactly. The prosecution's had over 2 years to prepare this case. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, we are praying for you, Corey. Please send some prayers along to Corey for a speedy recovery. Just had some eye surgery done. She can't see with her left eye right now. So let's wish you a speedy recovery. So that is what is going on. We will have, the judge has taken it under advisement. He said it's not going to be long. So I do believe that he will rule on this. We will probably have something in the court documents, probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the latest. Yeah, I do believe that she is banking on this. If they force her to go to trial in January, she's automatically going to walk on appeal. They took her constitutional rights away. They've had 2 years to prepare this. The prosecution is saying that, well, they're going to lose out money. That's not the defense's problem. They're going to have to call witnesses twice. That's not the defense's problem. You got to look at it from the way the law is set up. It's not the defense's problem that it's going to cost the prosecution extra money, extra time, having to call witnesses for 2 trials instead of 1. That's not the defense's problem. The defense has a right to a speedy trial, regardless of whether the prosecution is ready or not. They've had 2 years, and they're saying that they still haven't got DNA stuff back that they want to do on Lori's trial, for Lori's trial. Well, that's too bad. That's not on the defense. That's not a defense problem. That's a prosecution problem. And you've had 2 years to make sure you have your ducks in a row. So they're trying to put this back on the defense like it's the defense's fault. No, if you're not ready to go, that's your problem. That's not a defense problem. The defense has a right to a speedy trial, regardless of who they are, whether it's a petty criminal or somebody like Lori. I don't know how much of that she was doing in the mental health hospital, because if she was doing stuff like that in the mental health hospital, that would show competence. So I don't think she was doing that. I bet her lawyers were, though. Okay, Corey, you take care, hon, and I wish you a speedy recovery. Please take care of yourself. We're all praying for you. So that's that, you guys. They are having another motions hearing, but they're going to be discussing stuff that is already under seal. Is that going to have an impact on the judge's decision on the motion we just heard? I don't know. Butterfly Day. Well, I'm just curious, what date did Lori say she wanted the speedy trial? They have to, by law, 6 months from the date of arraignment. The 6 months is up on October 11th. They have to start by October 11th. So October 11th is her date for trial. They have to have a trial date no later than 6 months from the date of her arraignment. So that brings us to October 11th, and she is set for trial. I got hundreds of notices between her and Chad in my email from Vine. And her trial is going from October right into December, late December. And then Chad's is to start January 9th, right into the end of March. So each trial is going to take 3 months, 2.5 to 3 months. So Lori's would run right into just before Christmas. So if there is no more questions, I will let you guys get back to the rest of your day. But yeah, I don't think, Teresa, she was researching anything in the mental hospital, because that would have shown competency. Judy said, did you all catch Jim Archibald say, Miss Daybell understands we are working hard, so she understands what's happening here? Yes. Oh, it's not that she's not going to face the consequences. That's not what is at issue right now. What is at issue right now is the trial date. The prosecution still wants the trial date for January 9th and have them joined. Whereas Lori is entitled, she was arraigned last month, she's entitled to a speedy trial, which she refused to waive. Chad waived his right to a speedy trial. Lori did not, which means from the date of her arraignment, they have to have her trial within 6 months. It has to start within 6 months. And she's not willing to waive her right to a speedy trial. So that's the issue at hand. Prosecution doesn't want to have to present its case twice using the exact same evidence and witnesses and everything else. It's also going to give John Pryor's team a heads up as to what's going to be presented, what people are going to be saying, and everything else are going to be, and they're going to be able to have time to prepare more than what they are now, because they're going to see what is coming out. So you're very welcome, Teresa. Chad has a trial date set already. So, and he's not willing to change that. I don't think he would violate his rights because he waived his right to a speedy trial. But now that they have a trial date set, it would violate some of his rights to change his trial. Would it be to the extent of violation that it would be for Lori? No, but there could still be some issues. Low integrity. And thank you. Yes, if you guys have not subscribed, check out Mystical Mermaid. She has a great channel over there too. Check her out. I just got to meet her over the last few days. Excuse me, not under the circumstances I would have liked to meet her under, but I have been able to meet her. She's just a lovely lady. And if you would like to, please go over and check her out. She was also duped by Leland also. I don't want to really get into a big conversation about that right now. That's going to come at a later date. But there was quite a few of us that were involved in a private live where we had Leland and Jonathan's sister, on the phone and busted Leland's lies wide open. For those of you who haven't seen that yet, Jonathan and Sadie are very much alive. I don't even think Sadie was his sister. I think it was a prior girlfriend. And Leland's parents are also both still alive. So that is going to be something for another time. I don't know. Thank you, Corey. I don't know how we are going to arrange that. I think me, Mystical Mermaid, and a couple of others that were duped. From my understanding, people sent him cards with $500 in them, all kinds of stuff. I'm out almost $200 in merchandise. And anyway, I did have a live that I sent everybody who donated. I did send you a link. If you emailed me, I asked that if you donated to email me. So if you do want your donation back, that I would return that and suck up all the losses on that. Most of them have said, well, we don't want it back. So it's going to help cover all the money that I am out of pocket too. So I thank you for that, for the ones who have said to keep the donations. But yeah, we've got Leland busted on a live. He was talking to John's sister. We also spoke to John. John is very much alive. And we had John's sister on a live, and she called John and Leland on our live that we did. It's private right now, you guys, because I don't know how much of that. There's a lot of stuff that came out there about all of us, information that were involved in that. So I don't know how much I want to bring out of that, but there's going to be parts that I can show where I play the recording. I spoke with Leland yesterday morning to get the dates of Jonathan's death and Sadie's death and his parents' death. He gave me all those dates. They were totally different from the dates he had given me before. So I recorded that conversation I had with Leland. And then Jonathan's sister called Jonathan, and Jonathan is still very much alive. So on that live, Jonathan's sister called Jonathan, spoke with Jonathan and Leland, where I don't know if Jonathan knows about this, if he's involved in it or not. He could be very much duped too. But she then spoke with Leland on the phone on the live, where she said, what's this? Why are you telling people my brother is dead? He denies saying it. So that's when I speak up, because it was on the live. I spoke up and said, Leland, do you want me to play the conversation we just had like an hour ago, where you gave me the dates and everything of Jonathan's death, Sadie's death, and your parents' death? And I played that. and he didn't deny it. He started apologizing. Please delete it all. I'm just going to stay off of YouTube. Des was there too. Cat H was there. Mystical Mermaid was there. I believe Plucky was there. Spirit Moon was there. All hearing this. It was all, anybody that donated was in the chat, but most of us were up on panel. So we all, yeah, Jonathan did sound surprised. Jonathan was like, Leland, what? And this caused a big fight between Jonathan and Leland. And Jonathan said to Leland, like, what the hell? Like, why would you say this? And you can hear Leland saying, I didn't say that. There's some girl named Jess that's making it all up and telling lies. Little did Leland know that I had recorded that phone call with him. So I then played it to Leland where he did not deny it. He tried to apologize. He asked us to delete it all and just let's forget about this ever happening. And it's like, no, we can't. Because what he did is he committed fraud. People sent him money in cards, $500. One lady sent him. So, I mean, he's busted. That is a felony. And we found out that his parents are still alive. They did not die last year. At first, he had said his parents died a week apart. Then he tried to say that they died minutes apart. Then he changed the date and time that Jonathan died and the time that Sadie died. It was just a big, we blew it out of the water. So, yeah, thank God the next morning after I did that live, and I spoke to Leland after I did that live where I got the $80 in donations for him. I called him and I said, look, I've given my PayPal and I so far I've got $80 in donations. YouTube, because I'm in Canada, doesn't take just 30%. They take 38% because of exchange and all this crap. And Apple fees and something else. I forget because I'm in Canada. But anyway, I said, because of that, I'm only like, I won't get that until next month. But I said, whatever they donated, I will suck up whatever YouTube takes. I will suck it up. I'm going to send out the $80, penny for penny. What they donated, you're getting, regardless of YouTube taking it away from me. So, where was I now? Yeah, I told him I will get that out to him right away. I don't need to wait for YouTube to pay it to me. I will pay it to him right away. Please set up a PayPal. He said that he would work on setting up a PayPal. Thank God he didn't have one because I would have sent it right away. But then I started getting bad vibes, and that's when I started investigating. I asked him for the name of the funeral home that he paid the $12,000 to have Jonathan and Sadie cremated. I called that funeral home. They knew nothing about it. I also spoke with the Brad. He is the county coroner. He knew nothing about it. State troopers were also, I believe, the county coroner and the funeral home spoke with state troopers. Is there any accident that happened like this? Maybe an unknown in the hospital. They knew of no such accidents, especially 2 in the same day. There was none, especially nobody used air ambulance. It was all a lie. So then the hospital was called. They did not ever have a Jonathan Amos or a Sadie Boland. It was all a lie. Looking into it further, we found out that his parents were not even deceased. Jonathan's sister had actually seen Leland's mother yesterday. So that was all blown out of the water. Everything got blown out of the water yesterday. Leland ended up hanging up on us when I played the phone call of him giving me the dates of his parents' death and Jonathan and Sadie's death. When I started playing that, he hung up. Because now he just got blown out of the water with Jonathan. If Jonathan didn't know about it, he does now. Yes, thank God we stalled on it helping him get that PayPal set up. So I did offer anybody who did donate to join the link. If you emailed me, I sent you the link. If you wanted your donations back, I would send them back and just suck up the losses. Most of you have said, Willow, please keep it and cover your losses. I did have to purchase, Des sent Leland a blanket. So I had to replace that blanket, which I did. And I also purchased shirts because Leland said, oh, when I get their ashes back, they loved you. They loved you. Jonathan didn't even know who the hell I was. So he lied to me about Jonathan and Sadie really loving my channel and thinking of me as family. And I was like a mom to him. So he wants shirts for himself and for them so he can put a shirt behind each of their ashes when he gets them home. This isn't the first time he's done something like this. Oh, integrity, don't you worry about it. I do not want any more money coming in because of his lie. Anything that is still there that people have, I haven't had anybody ask for their donation back yet. It was about $358 or something like that in donations that I got. So there's still a little bit of money there. I did send a coffee cup. One of the donators asked, keep my donation, just send me a coffee cup. So I did do that. So it's kind of almost balancing out with my losses and what was donated anyway. So no, please, integrity, no. I no more donations on somebody who was, I don't want to say evil, but you've got to have a pretty dark side to you to try and pull something off like that. And I fell in love with this kid, you know, and he's not a kid. He's in his 40s. But my heart broke. I cried for days. And I went against the judgment that I always do. Verify, 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 verify. I already had trust issues because of a relationship that I had been in for many years. I had trust issues. My walls are up. That's why I'm staying single. I don't want another relationship. Every ounce of trust was taken from me in an aspect like that. And I let this kid in. I made him a mod on my channel. So for him to do what he did, he just put my trust issues again through the roof. Just as I started trying to break down those walls, they're back up. So, yeah, it's not easy. Yes, thank you for all my fellow Canadians. As far as I know, Corey, he does not. Okay, you think about this, you guys. He's saying he's got stage 4 cancer going into stage 5. There is no stage 5 cancer. If you have stage 4 cancer, you are. My phone. Sorry, you guys. I'm sorry for. No, not right now, Des, please. My daughter too. Not right now, Des, please. To your question that you just asked me on chat, on messaging me. Not right now, please. I forget where I was now. See, that's what happens when I get messages come. Okay, let me turn off my sound for a minute because I keep getting off track here. Okay, yes, the cancer thing. Okay, so stage 4 cancer, he would be on his deathbed, laying down on his deathbed, not being able to do much of anything. His hair would be gone. His eyebrows would be gone. He has a full head of hair. He has his eyebrows. He's got a mustache and goatee, but he keeps it very short, but you can see how full it is. He wouldn't have all that. He has another issue that it has nothing to do with cancer, that he is full blown in. I'm not going to bring that out publicly. But he has some health issues. But yeah, stage 4, you are on your way out. Yeah. Sister says, that's why I sent it there. Says, so sorry for distracting. Squirrel. Yeah, when my phone starts going off, it's a distraction. So I just turned off the sound. Yeah, so a lot of things were adding up that did not add up at all. So do I believe that he has cancer? I'm sorry, I don't. I cannot believe anything that comes out of his mouth anymore. He started trying to apologize and everything. I'm so sorry, Will. I'm so sorry. Just delete everything. Let's like go on like this didn't happen. What? He has all these burner numbers. He's burnt his number. I can't get a hold of him anymore. He burned the number. He's got me blocked on Facebook. He's blocked me everywhere. So that just shows you. And he admits his guilt on that live that we did yesterday. It's a private live that we did with everybody that he scammed. We all got on this live. He also scammed Mystical Mermaid. There's a lot of her subscribers that sent money to him directly in cards, in sympathy cards. So it's been a big cluster, you know what, that starts with F. What he did was horrible. And I have problems with forgiving people to begin with, because I feel if somebody's going to do something like this, they don't give a crap about you anyway. So why forgive them? I'm going to try at some time to forgive him, but I don't know if I can, because he didn't just hurt me. He hurt all of my subscribers, and he could have hurt my channel. So he didn't care about me at all. He used me as a vessel. And I just have a hard time forgiving people like that. So I know I'm taught to forgive, especially with what I do with my cards and everything else, and my reads and my connections and my higher powers and the guidance that I'm trying to pull right now from the community, the spiritual community. I'm very trying hard. My heart wants to forgive. So, because the forgiveness would be for my benefit, but my head right now will not let me. I still am so messed up over what he did. I'm messed up in the head. And I'm not saying I have mental health issues. I'm trying to understand why he would think that this would be okay to do this to me, to do this to all of you. And then he just moves on, burns his number, and moves on to the next victim. We do know that he uses multiple names. He could still be he could be in my chat right now, and I don't know it because he's changed his name. He does this and he changes names. And I believe there's other creators and other platforms that he has used to get money, because he did say at one point, I needed the money. When we kept saying, why did you do this? Why? And then Jonathan's sister said, why would you say this? That my brother was dead. I needed the money. So no, he's so lying about his parents being dead, lying about Jonathan being dead, lying about Sadie being his sister. She was a prior girlfriend, because I think he goes both ways. She was a prior girlfriend, and not that I don't care about that. I have a lot of friends that like men and women, and or just men or just women. I don't care about that. I've got a lot of friends that are part of the LGBTQ community, so it's not that. But he lied, and then he continued to try and lie. And then what he did when Jonathan's sister started inquiring about this, she said, I seen Des put, I'm sorry about Jonathan's passing, that on Leland's Facebook. Why would she do that? Then he said that Des was lying and trying to scam Leland in some way. She was a liar. I was a liar. Blah, blah, blah. You weren't really talking to Willow. You were talking to somebody named Jess that has been trying for years to break me down. And she's trying to say that she's Willow now. And it's actually this woman named Jess. You weren't really talking to Willow. Yes, he was. Yes, she was. But he says, no, 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 I don't care. She's using Willow's angel wing thing, her icon. She's trying to say she's Willow. She's not Willow. So when I busted him and said, yes, she was talking to me, Leland, that's when he went, oh my God. He knew the gig was up. And when Jonathan's sister said to Leland, right on the live, Leland, why would you lie and say my brother was dead? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please just delete everything. I'm sorry. You know, so he was still, to that minute, trying to cover up his lies, trying to make me a scammer, saying I was a scammer. This is what he was telling Jonathan's sister when she confronted him. He said, I was a scammer. Mystic Mermaid was a scammer. Des was a scammer. Everybody was scamming. Everybody was saying all this stuff about him and saying he said all this stuff that he didn't say. And that's when I said enough. And I said, hello, Leland. I'm on three-way with Jonathan's sister. Let me play the call that I just had with you an hour ago, when I got all the information on your parents' death, the times, the dates, and Jonathan's death. Here we go, Leland. And I played it. And he knew he was busted. And he didn't deny it. He said he did it because he needed money. So sorry, please just delete everything. And I do have that all on a private live that I still have saved. So and Leland knew what I did for 30 years. If I got that gut feeling, and my intuition is telling me, I pulled a few cards. My cards told me it's a lie. I had to look into it. So the very next day is when I started looking into it. That's why I made the post. Please do not send any more donations. I didn't want to have to start paying more people back, because it costed me money. So I said, let's wait until Leland gets his own PayPal and you can send it there. That was us delaying any more donations coming in than what we already got. So you people were not going to be losing your money to a scammer. Let's nip this in the bud. Let's stop any more donations coming in and let me get this investigated. And that's what I started doing. So no, he's not mentally impaired if he could carry out this elaborate hoax. And if I had not got a hold of Jonathan's sister, Jonathan, unless he's involved, which I cannot prove that Jonathan knew about this. If Jonathan did not know about this, he was scammed too. But now his sister brought it out. But now Jonathan has blocked his sister on Facebook. So I believe that Leland has convinced him this is all a hoax, that somebody is setting him up, even though I got him on recording admitting that he did this and that he lied. No, not at all. Not at all. Willow, did he appear to? He slurred sometimes, but I think he's taking some kind of drugs for his other issue. And I do think that he is on drugs, because he would go from the hugging like this to when I'd say, Leland, stop. Okay, what do you need to know? So he'd go from trying to slur. I think it was all an act. Talking like this because I just took my meds. Oh, okay, Leland. So, okay, then let's just focus on this. When did they die? Oh, they died in May and this. And then he talked fine, forgetting to do his slurring. Because he didn't know what I was going to ask him. Like, how are you feeling or anything? I didn't ask him how he was feeling. And that's what I think he was trying to lean towards, more sympathy. Okay, Leland, stop. All I need to know is the date so I can put that on this plaque. Oh, okay. Well, the dates are, and then he talked fine. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I do know, and well, I do feel, yeah, he's not a nurse either. He never was. And he also ripped off old people. I don't know how that all happened. I'll get the information on that. But I do know, and I do feel, I don't know, but I feel, so I don't want to say I know, but I feel that he has done this to multiple YouTubers, not just Mystic Mermaid and me. I feel like there's a lot more. This was too good and too rehearsed, and the acting job was so well for this to be the first time he's done this. So I do believe that he has done this before. The police do know about it, Corey H., but I think we need some more people. We're going to talk about that privately. I don't think that should be made public yet. Because if it gets out, I don't want certain information getting out before the police can do something about it. I want there's certain things that have to happen. I can't talk about it on open forum here. Yeah. There's some things that are still going on, and I do not want that brought out at all yet, because something needs to happen. That's all I can say right now, you guys. Like I said, there was a bunch of us in a private live that are going to have to get back together, because there's some things that have happened there that need to follow through. So that's all I can say right now. Please trust me. I hope that this does not ruin the trust that you guys have in me. This is why I brought this forward quickly, as soon as I could verify and know for sure that Jonathan was not dead. And I only got a hold of his sister yesterday and confirmed it. Regardless of what the state trooper said and the funeral home said and the hospital said, even though I had all that, I still wanted confirmation before I came out with, Leland, you are a liar. Okay? That is what I generally do. And I should have done that before ever doing a live to help him. But I was torn. I had found out on the 12th, I hadn't even had a coffee yet. I woke up, I seen all these messages. He needs money. He has no money for gas. Jonathan and Sadie both died throughout the night from their accidents. The first thing I thought, I'll get on. I'll see if we can't get him some donations, let you guys know what happens. Anything that I get donated on YouTube, I will send him right away, so he has at least some gas money. And it just snowballed. But when I got off the phone, when I got off the live, and then I got off the phone with Leland, because I called him right after and said, look, I've got $80 that I can send you right away. Give me your PayPal. He didn't have it set up. I started getting feelings in my gut that this was not right. And I started questioning him, and then started my investigation. So that's how it all came out, you guys. And it just snowballed from there. It takes time I worked with Mr. Earl at the funeral home. It took him some time to gather information for me. I talked to Brad. He is the county coroner for Baxter County. I spoke with this gentleman on the phone for almost an hour. He is the one that looked into a lot of stuff that only state troopers and stuff like that, and people with access to that database would have. So got me a lot of information there. Meanwhile, Mr. Earl at the funeral home was still contacting hospital and stuff like that, because the hospital won't give us that information, but will give funeral home or coroner that information. Coroner looked into a lot of different things with the state troopers and accidents and air ambulance things and everything. He got a lot of that information too for us. Got back to me. He called me back. He has my actual real number, this coroner. Okay. So that's how serious I was about getting the truth, you guys. I didn't give him my burner number. I gave him my actual number here in Canada at my home. So he was getting back to me over a couple day periods. So once I got all this information together, that's when I contacted Jonathan's sister. I did not want to contact her until I knew facts. Yes, this is true, or no, that's not true. And that's when I found out that neither one, Jonathan or Sadie, were deceased. That's when I contacted Jonathan's sister, who in turn called her brother, Jonathan, that is with Leland, and spoke with him. Also, that's how I found out that Jonathan's sister seen Leland's mother just that day or the day before and had spoken to her. Leland also admitted that both his mother and father are still alive in the live that we did yesterday, the private live. So that's why I can bring this all out to you. And I made that post yesterday because I don't want to see Mystical Mermaid hurt by this anymore either, as well as myself or any of my subscribers. Okay? Your prayers mean so much to the people who actually need them. And I don't want those prayers wasted on something that is not true. The only prayers, if you guys do want to send Leland prayers, please pray that he sees the light, that he comes out of this darkness that he has put himself in and comes to the light and comes out and apologizes and admits publicly what he did. So, yeah, me too, Integrity. Like, I was bawling. My sister had to come up on panel and help me with the live because I was bawling so bad because I just found out. I didn't even have a coffee or a morning cigarette yet. No, his last name is not Carter. I'm not going to divulge his real last name, but that's not his real last name. His mother and father are very much alive. And the sister that I spoke to, Jonathan's sister, Jonathan and her share the same father, different mothers. So they are brother and sister. They have the same father. So they're half brother and half sister. And she's a wonderful lady. She went to bat for us yesterday to call this out. Otherwise, we would never have been able to get Jonathan and Leland on the phone at the same time. No, Carter is not his last name. I have his real last name. But I'm not stooping to his level and going to out a lot of things that I could. Just know that what he said about his parents being dead and Jonathan and Sadie being dead, it's a lie. They are all alive. Absolutely. It wasn't just me, Des, Mystical Mermaid, others from Mystical Mermaid's channel who are now in here. It's not just us. My subscribers that contributed to him on Mystical Mermaid's channel, there was people that donated $400, $500, $600 at a time. Like, at least here, I shut it down. I think we were at like 358 or something like that. I shut it down because I got a bad feeling. I think Mystical Mermaid tried her very best to shut it down too. But by that time, by the time that we got some verification, a lot of people had donated and sent cards and actual cash to Leland already. You can't go and grab that back out of the mail. So there was a lot of money already sent out to Leland that he's going to have. So thank God the PayPal didn't get set up, because I would have hated, because even if you guys would have, if he would have had his PayPal set up and you guys would have donated to Leland's PayPal, I would have refunded you that money. anything that you had paid him, I would have refunded you. That's just the way I roll. I'm taking responsibility. I should have looked into this deeper. And if it would have been anybody else, I would have verified it. But it was Leland. Butterfly Dana, he uses a bunch of different names. Thank you, Integrity. Thank you so much, Integrity. There's also Plucky that was scammed by him. Yeah, I went on Mystical Mermaid's live she did last night, and I sent her a super chat just to show her that, you know, she was very worried about what people were going to think. And like, we both felt like we were fools. We were fooled. So anything that she is out, I wanted to help give back to her also. So I did send her a super chat to maybe help make up some of what she was scammed out of. Yeah, she is. She is such a good soul. Good, kind spirit, yes. And I pull on some of her energy because she has got such a forgiving heart and soul. And I think I made a post on one of her videos that she did. I wish I had the strength that you have to forgive as easy as you have, because I just, right now, I don't know if I will be able to in the future, you guys. He just put all my trust walls back up. And at this right now, I cannot forgive him at this point, because he's still trying to lie about it, to cover up the lies that he just did. He's still doing more lies to try and cover up what he just did to us. So right now, no, I can't until he takes full responsibility and stops this crap and stops doing this to people and channels and creators. I can't forgive him. Forgiveness comes when somebody is actually sorry and stops that behavior. He hasn't stopped. He's just moved on to the next victim. So I personally right now, and I'm sorry to my ancestors. I'm sorry to God. But right now, I'm just not strong enough to say that I can forgive him right now. I've asked, believe me, I've been praying, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, please come and wrap your arms around me. Help me with this forgiveness. I'm trying. I just don't know, you guys. I just don't. It's got to stop. For me to be able to forgive him, it's got to stop. So, oh boy, I wasn't expecting to talk about this after this court date today, you guys. But, yeah, and I'm asking God to help me get through this. And I'm asking God to help for him to help Leland stop doing this. Like, it needs to stop. Yes, thank you, Integrity. Very well said. And I'm being as honest as I can be. I wish I could come to you and say, you know, I've forgiven him, but I can't, because he hasn't stopped. He's continuing. And he's saying more lies, because now he's telling people that I'm not a good person. Mystic Mermaid's not a good person. Des isn't a good person. These are people that were there for you, that helped you, that cried for you, that put their life on hold to help you, to get you through this. We suffered, but now we're the bad guys. And that's what he's telling people now. Don't believe them. They made this all up. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Even though I got him on voice recording admitting that it was him, and I've got him on a live admitting it was him. That's not what he's telling other people. He wants me to delete all this. He wants me to delete that live and delete the phone calls, so there's no proof of it. So anyway, I hope at some point in time I can forgive, but just right now I can't. Yes, I agree. I'm just not there. I'm not there yet. So, yeah. We know a couple of different names that he uses. So, but he changes phone numbers. Like he changes, like raindrops coming from the sky change their shape on the way down. That's how much he, as soon as somebody catches on to him, he burns that number and gets another one. People catch on, he burns that one. He doesn't even know who's calling him anymore because he's burned so many numbers. He doesn't even have our numbers saved anymore because he keeps having to burn the numbers. It's what they call a burner phone. He keeps burning the numbers and getting another number because people are catching on to him. I don't know, but he's got me blocked. And I'll show you right now. He's got me blocked. Usually, he would show up right here. But he's got me blocked. And these here are probably him. All these ones with no picture, these are all probably already all stock accounts, I think they call them. But he's got me blocked. He is no longer here. I showed you guys the picture of it. This looks familiar. I don't know. But he will make up Facebooks and add random people from all over the place. But none of these are him. If you search for John Amos, Leland has sent, what the heck? Wait a minute. There it is. This used to say John Amos. He's changed it now to Carter. Up until Sunday, this was John Amos, and this is John right there. And we talked to John yesterday. And that's Leland. Leland changed this to Carter sometime Sunday or Monday. Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. But I believe the day of it was after my Sunday live that he changed this from Amos to Carter. I'll also show you. This is Sadie. Okay, this is Sadie and Leland. You can see here. Hang on. Oh, he's got me blocked, so I may not see it now. But I have a photo of it already. I took a photo of it. Oh, yeah, Leland's got me blocked because I can't see his name in here. He commented on this photo. And this is Sadie and Leland. I believe somebody told me that they were a couple at one time. But here's Sadie. You see this? You see this date, May 16th, 2022. How can she be posting on Facebook if she died on May 11th? Okay. Now, here's May 11th. She just posted at 2:45 p.m., but apparently she had an accident at noon. How could she post if she's in an accident? And this is a picture of Sadie and Leland. Apparently at one time they used to date. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that I have gained information. What's this? Oh, where is it now? Come on. Oh, it's deleted off of here too. Once Leland burnt his number yesterday after we caught him on the live, he followed me on Facebook. Give me a second, you guys. Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, so when we were in the private live, after he hung up on us, he followed me because I seen it on my Above and Beyond Ancestor Readings Facebook. I seen a notification come up that Leland Carter followed me. So then when I tried to click, once I was done the live and everything and whatnot, and I turned back to that and I went to click on it, he had me blocked. It said that this channel's been blocked or something. I forget what it even said, but he's got me blocked. I can't see his Facebook anymore. Oh, Marie, you're going to have to go back and watch. We did cover the Lori Vallow thing first, and then we got in a topic about this because Leland's name came up. So we got on the topic of Leland. And I just basically wanted to give you guys a little bit of what happened without going into, I'll end up going into the full details, but not everything. There's still things that I'm not going to be mentioning yet because there's still things going on behind the scenes. He's still trying to continue doing what he was doing. So I don't know what other channels that he will go to. He could even be in here right now and we may not even know it. Thank you so much, Nan. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's quite a few of us that were hurt by this. There's a couple channels, including mine. Big elaborate lie. Greed, people, greed. And now, the saddest thing about it is it's going to make me leery of everything now. If somebody I loved and trusted and made a mod on my channel could do something like that to me, I'm going to question everybody now. Like what happens if one of our subscribers says, Willow, can you please ask everybody for prayers for me because something horrible's happened? I don't know how I'm going to react. You know what I mean? It's like my heart says one thing, but my head is saying, is this him again? It does. It changes everything. I already had trust issues that I finally started breaking down my walls from a really bad relationship that I had left my hometown to get away from. And my walls started slowly coming down, and now they're right back up. Prayers are free. I don't think I will ever be able to ever do what I just tried to do for somebody who just lost apparently all these people. What happens? I'm going to have to verify everything before I'll ever do anything like that again. And that's sad. There are very good people, and there are honest people out there that are having a hard time, that need help. And I'm one to help anybody that needs it. I opened my Facebook one time, and there was something there, a girl from my hometown where I was born and raised, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. There was somebody on there that said her house had burnt. And it's true that, like, everybody was commenting, yeah, we seen that. We were trying to help getting stuff out before it fully burnt and all that. So I know it was true. I don't know this lady, but I know she lost everything. Guess what I did? Please send me a private message with your email. I'm going to send you some money because you need money. You can't wait. You need money right now. She didn't. Sorry, you guys. She didn't even have shoes on her feet. She fled her house because it was on fire. So it's like right away, I sent her money. I don't know this lady from anybody. I didn't know her when I lived there. I don't know her, but I know that everybody else was commenting too, that yes, we were trying to help people get as much out as they could and move the cars and everything because it was fully engulfed. I said, please, right now, just take a minute and send me in a private message, send me your email. You will get, I'm going to send you cash right now. And I did. I don't know this lady. So I tried very hard. I've got a heart of gold. But it's when things like this happen, I really question myself. Like, are you doing the right thing? I think knowing what I knew at that time, my heart was in the right place. But I can't forgive myself for not listening to my gut and investigating it first. I didn't feel the need. I had to because it was Leland. Like, this was elaborate. He's been sharing this for over a year. I'm sick. I've got stage 3 now. I've got stage 4 and never asked for anything in a year. So when this happened, it's like, oh my God. He's like a predator that grooms you to be able to nail you like he just did. He groomed me for a year. You know, he groomed others. Mystical Mermaid is heartbroken. I can't even explain the pain that beautiful woman is going through right now. She was a lot closer to him than I was, knew more about him than I did. And she herself started beating herself up because she started getting the feeling something's not right. And she beat herself up over it. How can you think that way of Leland? And like beating herself up for the way she was feeling and for the things that she was getting that was telling her something's not right. She was beating herself up over it. How dare you think that way of your friend? You love him. He's family. You know what I mean by family. Like, we are all family here. She beat herself up for a long time. So me doing this investigation, leave it with me. Did it break me? Did it hurt me? Did it break my heart? Absolutely. You see how I reacted when Leland would come into the room. Oh, Leland, I love you. You know, please. Like, I thought he was in his final days. Uh-oh. Okay, he does block too. Yeah, page unavailable. Yeah. Absolutely. And he's done it with all of us now, because now he's going to move on to somebody else. That's why he burned his numbers and everything else, so we don't have his phone numbers or nothing. Oh my gosh, Butterfly Dana. Butterfly Dana involved other people in her church that keep calling her and asking her for an update on Leland. We are a group that are prayer warriors, and I have to bring this horrible update to them. Dana, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Please apologize on my behalf. I should have known better. And this is what I mean, you guys. This doesn't just stop at Mystic Mermaid, Plucky, Des, me, and all these other people that he got money out of, and care and love and prayer. This doesn't stop there, because in turn, those people, and just like Butterfly Dana here, have involved churches and everything. It is, I should have looked into it more, but it was Leland. So I do have to take some of that blame, and I do blame myself for some of it, because I should have known better. I always, and what do I tell you guys all the time? I'm not going to put something out until I verify it, and I should have verified it. But as soon as I did get those feelings, you guys, I did my best to try and stop it. Like, don't donate no more. Don't donate no more, please. I did try afterwards, but I still blame myself for not verifying it first. I hope so, Integrity. I do hope so. I hope that he does stop, but I don't think he is. I don't think he is, because he called my number this morning by accident. I don't know who he thought he was talking to, but he said some name that I'm not familiar with. And said, I really need help financially. I really need help financially. So I know he is still doing this with somebody else. And as soon as he realized who I was, he hung up and he burnt the number. Because I tried calling it back. He burnt the number. Thank you, Nana. Nana, thank you. I think in time it will subside a bit. I will never forget the lesson I just learned. And I probably will always beat myself up over that. That's just me. I should have known better. And this just goes to prove it doesn't matter who it is. I had a family member do something like this to me. Not saying somebody was dead, but to get money out of me, scam me. A family member. You can't trust your family. And unfortunately, it's going to come to the point where if somebody does need help, I'm sorry, I'm going to be verifying it. Left, right, center, up, down, every dot, every T, every comma is going to be questioned and verified. No, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. But he has a lot of different Facebooks, and he could have Twitter. We don't know. We don't know how deep this goes. But I can tell you, he called my number and said a different name and said, please, I need some financial help. What can we do? What more can we do? Or something along them lines. What more can we do? Or something. I need financial help. And in that voice, like he's just thinking and he can't move. And meanwhile, he's out driving around all over the place and going shopping and picking up this and picking up that. That's not stage 4 cancer. So I don't know who else he's doing this to. Oh, Teresa, we got all the proof that we need right now. I don't need to go deeper in that. But yeah, I have to find a way. Yeah, I have to protect myself and my channel because he made a comment yesterday that he was coming after me and Mystical Mermaid for outing him. He's going to try and have our channels taken down. So and if he does that, God help whatever happens to him, because I will go legal with him. And all of this dirty laundry of his is going to come out if he tries to have my channel taken down for outing him. In time, integrity. I think I'm going to have a hard time forgiving myself over anything else. Because to me, I should have known better. I should have investigated it first. Oh, Nan, he didn't only pretend to have cancer. His parents are still alive. He said that they died last year a week apart from COVID. And then yesterday he told me that they died minutes apart. But prior to that, he had said they died a week apart. Jonathan and Sadie are both alive. Sadie isn't even his sister, I don't think. I haven't been able to verify that yet, but I have enough information that points that way, that she was somebody that he had dated at some point in time. And Jonathan is very much alive. We talked to him yesterday. So it goes a lot deeper than just pretending to have cancer. I have family that are RCMP, so they were a lot of help to me. Integrity. And I also have family that are OPP, Ontario Provincial Police. We're going to see what happens there. The authorities know about it because I believe it was either the coroner or the guy from the funeral home, Earl, that had said that they were contacting contacting troopers too. Okay, sister. If you want to see what Leland's page looks like, my sister just sent me. Okay, I got to make sure your phone number and that doesn't show. Hang on, I got to answer my daughter because she's thinking I'm mad at her. Okay, back to this. Okay, I'm going to put my camera on. Your phone number, nothing shows here, Des. So this is what Des just sent me. Look, sis, I'm blocked also because his name was tagged in my post and now it's not tagged anymore. And this is what Des had put on Leland's Facebook and on her Facebook. Please pray for my friend Leland Carter. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm truly heartbroken that both Jonathan and Sadie have passed away within 12 hours of each other. It's unimaginable, blah, blah, blah. That's what she had put on Leland's Facebook. And now we're both blocked. She's accessing it from Gabby's Facebook. So that was on his Facebook, you guys. And oh wait, hang on a sec. I'll put my camera. Okay. I'll show you. I think I got screenshots. Hang on. Hang on. I'll show you what his Facebook looks like. Okay, remember I told you that I had Here is the photo. Remember I showed you that photo of Sadie and Leland, and I said Leland commented on it. Hang on, let it focus right there where my thing is, right there. It says Leland Carter liked it. Okay, so wait a minute. Next, I'm going to show you. Okay. This is Leland's Facebook. Leland Carter. So if you're looking for him, it's there. It used to say, okay, you can see here where it says in a relationship now with John Carter. Watch. Hang on. Where is it? I got it. I got it here somewhere. I know I do. Here. Okay. This was on Saturday when my sister sent me a screenshot of Leland's, because I couldn't find his Facebook. So she sent me a screenshot of what it looked like. Look at what John's name was. Amos. In a relationship with John Amos. Now, since he found out that we're on to him, look at what it says now. Leland Carter in a relationship with John Carter. He changed it to Carter because he knew that we were getting on to him. And that's supposed to be Jonathan. And that's Leland. That picture up top is Leland. And he's got a full head of hair. I've got pictures of him, you guys. Hang on. Full head of hair. Oh, I don't have it in here. Well, you can kind of see it there. No. And now I can't even go and get them. Hang on. I don't want to show things that I'm not supposed to. Yeah, I can't show that because it's got somebody's name and phone number on it. Anyway, I've got photos of everything. I've also got all the phone calls recorded. And whatnot. I sent a video showing his page and clicked around to Above and Beyond group on Messenger. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find that message so I can put it. Exactly. To say his parents died last year. Now Jonathan died and Sadie died. And then when he's out of there's Plucky. Hi, Plucky. Je them. Je them. How can somebody do that? Like, and not feel bad. Oh, kisses for everybody. Plucky was also in the private live yesterday when we outed Leland, when Leland was on the phone. And so was Jonathan. Plucky was also in our live. And thank you for that I got to meet Plucky too. Plucky and Integrity, who are here, are both here from Mystic Mermaid's channel. And I feel very lucky and blessed to have met such wonderful people. That's about the only good thing that's come out of all of this. Yeah. Thank you, Mary Michael. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. And I got to meet some really amazing people. And like I said, you guys know I don't have the time to go and check out other channels and stuff. So I never would have found Mystic Mermaid had it not been for this happening. And Kat H is a mod for Mystic Mermaid and for me. So that's how we got brought together. So, oh, hello, Amanda. Another one from, oh, thank you for all coming over. Amanda Campbell. Thank you. She's also from Mystical Mermaids channel. Thank you for coming over, all you guys. I wouldn't have had a chance to meet all these wonderful people. No, he is in Arkansas. And there's a lot of Leland Carters with no photo on Facebook. Those are all him too. Those are all stock accounts that he uses and changes the name to whatever name he's using that day. Absolutely. I mean, he still costed me a lot of money, but I'm done with it. He can never do it again. That's about all he's going to get ever out of me. He's not even going to get a hello out of me. He's never going to be able to talk to me again. So that's his loss. And he did. And I don't know if you were just here, Mary Michael, but he called this morning. He didn't even realize that it was me he called. Acting all, trying to get money again from whoever he was actually trying to call. When he found out it was me, he hung up right away and burned that number. Plucky, his crimes cross state and county lines. How about his crimes cross state, county, and country? I'm in Canada. He knew that. It's a felony. It's a felony. Don Schwiga says, not Letitia, Lori. Yeah, it was Lori. Oh, sorry. Did I say Letitia? Did I say Letitia? My mind is still. I still haven't caught up on my sleep. Leland will call us. You ask my sister. Leland, I turn my phone off at night, thank God. Leland will call all hours of the day and night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't matter. This guy, it's almost like he was on something that kept him going 24/7. So if I said Letitia, I'm sorry, forgive me. I meant Lori. We did start off with this was supposed to cover Lori, and I did cover Lori. We got to see Lori, her face and what she looks like right now. I do believe he is already doing this. I think that there was a lot more people because he never knew who was calling him. When we would call him, he never knew who we were unless he recognized our voice. And he used to call, like when I'd call, hey, Leland, like I need a little bit more information and this and that. What hospital were they actually taken to, airlifted to? Des, I told you this already, Des. Leland, it's not Des, it's Willow. Oh, Willow, I love you. Willow, and the crying would start. And okay, Leland, I need to know the hospital. And he gave me the hospital. Like, it was ridiculous. So I do believe that he was doing this across, I don't know how many people he's doing this to, you guys. I really don't. I don't know, Butterfly Dana, but he's like, and like I said earlier, when he would talk, okay, at the beginning, I'm so much pain, Willow, in bed. Like you couldn't even make out what he was trying to say. Okay, Leland, stop. I'm trying to get something to you. I need the name of Jonathan Amos. When did he die? And Sadie, for Jonathan and Sadie, I need okay, Jonathan Amos. So he says, oh no, it's Jonathan Carter now. We got married. Okay. And I just let that slide. Okay, when did he die? We already know we're talking about Jonathan Amos. When did he die? May 11th. And he come out with it like there was no more, and not being able, oh, okay, you need Jonathan. Okay, well, Jonathan died on this date and Sadie died on this date. Like he talked normal. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. Yeah. Even Missouri, which is like, if he even lives where he has to live where he told us because he received the blanket already. So we already know that he lives where he says he lived. But anyway, he's only 22 miles from Missouri border. So even Missouri was all checked. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up anyway, you guys. I do have to get off here. I've promised my daughter that I would get together with her today. I was only going to be covering the Lori thing, but Leland's name got brought up, and here we are. So, Dawn, were they ever interested in exhuming her brother's body? I have not heard of them exhuming Alex's body. Alex Cox was her brother, Lori's brother. I have not heard of anything about her body being exhumed, but I do know that they exhumed Chad Daybell's wife's body, Tammy. So no, I've heard nothing about that, my dear. Okay, so as I said, I will be watching Lori's court filings to see when the judge gives his decision and order on what's going to happen. Again, I feel that if he does separate these, if he does take Lori's trial from October and force it to go through with Chad in January, I think there will be an automatic appeal at the end of that, and I believe she will walk on appeal because her constitutional rights were violated. So that's why I personally think the judge is going to go forth with Lori's trial in October, Chad's in January. That's the only thing that he can do to save Lori from walking. The only other thing that could be done is to bring Chad's to October. His trial date's already set, and John Pryor did make it a point to say that he is not willing to move his trial to October. He wants his January 9th trial date that's already been set. So let's see what happens. The only thing that he could do, which would be the lesser of evils on appeal, is to bring Chad's to October. So that, because Chad had waived his right to speedy trial. Now he has a trial date set. The judge can say, well, we're going to have to bring that to October. We're going to have to move it up. Is there going to be a fight over that? Absolutely. So I don't know. But I do know that if the judge forces Lori to join the January 9th trial date, she has a huge appeal that she will probably walk on. 99.9% she will walk if they violate her rights to a speedy trial. Because as of even today, she is still not waiving her rights to a speedy trial. So with that being said, they have to have her trial start within 6 months. That's her constitutional right. It's everybody of the United States' right to a speedy trial, unless it's waived. So let's see what happens. I'm on the free lunch program. Need tip money? Oh, gosh. We're going to see what happens there, Mary Michael. I will keep you guys up to date with what's going on with it, but there's some things that need to happen before other things can happen. I don't want to get into it too much because it might spook some people. So I want to leave it there. And as soon as I find out anything more, then I will let you guys know. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking through to the end and hearing everything out. I wasn't prepared really to talk about Leland today, but it was brought up. When you guys ask about something, I feel it's my duty to answer it, and I think you guys all have a right to know. We're going to leave it at that for right now. Keep Mystical Mermaid also, please, in your prayers, that she is protected from any harm. And here too, as well as everybody else affected by what he did. Please keep all of them in your prayers, and let's hope that nothing else is thrown at us. Okay. So with that being said, thank you, my mods. Thank you so, so much to everybody who did donate that said, just never mind, we don't want it back. Thank you very much. Like I said, if you do have donated and you do want your donation back, I have no problem covering it. I will cover that. Just email me and let me know. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. I love you to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.